Alright, hey, hi, hello! How's it going, guys? My name is ZetaRayZod, and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my Alright, hey, hi, hello! How's it going, guys? My name is ZetaRayZod, and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. So, I'm sure you realize I cut my hair. That's pretty new, pretty new. Since I got vaccinated, I can, I can go out, I got a haircut, had some food. Haven't been out in a long time, but yeah. So, last we left off, we had accepted to represent Natsume-san in court. But as we're finding out more and more details from Gregson, it kind of seems like, we tried, Originally they thought he came from Bourbon Books and he came here and stabbed him, but then we found out he was here. It was actually your books, not Bourbon Books, so, but there's still a possibility that he could have gone this way, so, which is why the jury is kind of all voted guilty. So what we did is we invoked that kind of archaic law that we want to ask them again, why you voted for guilty. So that's what we're doing. All right, let's go. For pity's sake, the little Nipponese oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in great green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books, yes. I shot that. The Bourbon Books. No, not worth visiting. That guy has probably no idea why he's here. With only minor exceptions, the reason for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mrs. Natsume's guilt now. Why do you have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker nobody could see? This is impossible! How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If you want to force the trial to continue... Yeah, I know. I have to turn the tide. Must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. Oh boy. Here we go again. Just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Yonosuke, you can do it. Oh boy. Here we go. Jury examination. Gregson's at the back, still eating his chips. Defense rebuttal. Let's see. This oddity already admitted himself, didn't he? He said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, but he can only have been the victim. Yeah. Wait, actually, press. I keep forgetting. That's the #1 rule in Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Press everything. Excuse me, but aren't you? Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. Why is he covering half his face, though? And it was all going swimmingly until he started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, water under the bridge. What's done is done. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock. Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Huh. Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history.
Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
If he said that a woman in green collapsed before that, you're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. Clearly that funny little Nipponese man with disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let's not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes. But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare the man has already made their admission. He himself has stated that there's nobody else around. Surely the conclusion's obvious. No one else could possibly commit this awful crime. No one else could have done it. The accused must be the man. Really, couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you're too kind, my lord. That went well, for her. I honestly, I don't see any so far. Man would have gone around, yeah. You don't know that. But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yeah, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yeah, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there? Well, yeah, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yeah, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yeah. Huh. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. Oh, must be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, though, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road way, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. The reason why Saseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yeah, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion that way.
You lady. So the poor woman is that. Yep, okay. Let's press you. Whatever's the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Gerda, aren't you? Landlord who rents Mr. Natsume's room? The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand? She's keeping up that charade? Charade? Sorry. This is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean? Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear. So I had no choice. See, anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me, yes! He's just a sword. What? What? It's not like, what? It's more like, what? It's like, did she actually disagree? Spending all his time in a dark and dingy room, sporting an unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them enough. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more.
Well, just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. Okay. Let's see what you got to say. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so's my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can afford to take time off. If If I don't work, I don't eat. And neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, this water and gas supply pipes busted left, right, and center. You have to cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn to dusk, it is. Ooh. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence? That's right, Meestrom Street it was. Meestrom Street.
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets.
There it is. I knew it. Jury number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. That's important business. Pit with you, sir. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another because if he's digging up that road, I think there's a possibility that Natsume-san couldn't have gone that way because that road was like being built. Sorry, under construction. Ah. At odds, counsel. Explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. Huh? What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3. Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meestrom Street, making it impossible. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meestrom Street and down Briar Road. Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yeah, you can't argue with that, really, can you? You must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement out. Maybe every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back or go the other way. So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yeah, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, huh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But, we see now that he had no choice. Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. Yes? I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it shouldn't be filled in. It should be filled in, that's what I say. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least, and strengthen our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yeah, that's exactly what we gotta do. Forensics is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please. I have a feeling Bruce Fairplay and jury number 4 is not going to be helpful, so I think I'm going to pit jury number 2 and jury number 6 together. Let's see. Press Huh? Sorry. Fold it, you say? Fold what? No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yeah. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea.
That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books in the day in question?
Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon. Would have been just before 5 that I left.
That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day. including the day you were all talking about. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh, yeah, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget the date, hardly. Not after the draft time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on ice and docked my head.
Oh! Could have been you, sir! It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's why it's more slippery. Sorry. Interesting. I was gonna say, I didn't want to say it because it might be rude, but I was gonna say the juror number 6's shape and the way he's wearing it, I thought he was like the father of the victim. Where's the victim? Olive green. Because they're both wearing green and they both have the same cute shape, so I was like, oh, you guys related or something. But I didn't want to say it.
Not myself clean out, I did. I really thought my numbers up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right. Living corporate, you see. Hanging down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get from your block.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information onto your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
So sorry. Extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
You've changed 2 of the jurors' minds, Miss Naruto.
Yeah, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to do Susato takedown. I suppose words will have to suffice for now. Yeah, I'm correct. It's juror number 2 and... Because she said if he said that a woman in green collapsed before her eyes, it can only be the victim. But the dude in green fell down too. So it could have been him. Those 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir?
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we're all well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. Can we really be sure of that, madam? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my! My goodness, you mean... That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here be today? That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that. My goodness me.
Sorry. So you need to pee?
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Miss Natsue saw collapse in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my! You know what to do. You idiot old man, if you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about, they would have boxed us off hours ago. And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What do you say to me?
Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days, huh? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it? The man has a point. If he wants to wear a green overcoat, he can. He's entitled to. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but... You would like to change your leaning? I presume. I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
And I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well...
Yay! Balance as all things should be. Unbalanced.
Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes, 2. The noes, 4. So the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
If you're gonna throw that away, I'm gonna be so upset. Takes out another glass. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. Well, what do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Huh? Whatever do you mean? I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe he said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, so... That's right. It's been a whole day and they pay me measly tuppence for it. Now, our learned Nipponese friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Huh? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? Huh? Wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope passing anyway. Just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town. Is that true? Is it? Got no proof. Incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence.
And old man. Cold man, you could talk.
You say that around 5 o'clock on the date in question you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say I remember.
You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, and I will lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. You can't prove it either. Why are you upset? You dipshit. He's like, you can't prove it, and then I'll be like, you can't prove it either. Jesus. Order? Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. He's like, you can't prove that old man was the one that he saw. But at the same time, you can't prove that he wasn't.
It is.
Come on, Naruhodo. If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What? What are you talking about? Weirdo. My lord, the prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. Its next witnesses?
Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yeah, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
Alright. No matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, no matter what they say, I believe it's a Seki-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end. until this battle's over. Here we go. That's the policeman. He's sleeping. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Oh, they're a couple. They're both wearing the same sweater. Not sweater, sorry, scarf. Oh, they're brothers and sisters.
Constable Rolly beats, nothing to report on the streets,
Oh wait, it's his wife, sorry. He did say it's his wife, right?
And I'm Mrs. B. Patricia's my name, and I'm proud to say I'm this young town's hero's wife.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are reading true. And they are responsible for keeping the streets clean, and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
I'd just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London, Bobby is a man of honor. He's asleep. That's a hole right there, man. And a man in slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, really? Constable Rolly beats, nothing to report on the streets,
What a great witness he's going to be. What a hole. Come on, man. The prosecution's a piece of shit. Not that he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's an idiot. Because this witness is like... I could just say he was asleep. He was tired. How could he have noticed? It's foggy. I'd like to hear formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw in the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir.
What the witnesses saw.
It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off.
So you didn't see him stab the person?
We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man at the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
The judge is an idiot as well.
Pay attention to the details, man.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed.
It's def null, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place. I'm just thinking like everything that Van Zeke said to kind of like counter my argument is also speculation. He's saying that, oh, it's only 2 feet. Sorry, it's only like less than 2 meters. Someone could jump over it. But did the man see him jump over it? No. Idiot. God.
Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. We will have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? Our learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense. Commence the cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. I feel like I've seen... Hold on. Damn, I don't have evidence that says only people just said it. I have no evidence that points at. Yep. Let's check. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. B?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. Suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling?
Huh? What?
Oh, I just finished my beat. Pat and I were headed back to the station, and I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rolly, I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you had finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. Policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I serve my city and my queen to the end.
What's that now?
My warrant card, sir, proof that I'm a London copper. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it, as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty, to patrol the sweet streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. Because I know the planting on my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure.
Funny crimes didn't appear to come into it then.
But sir, just on that particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care.
Jesus.
Oh, Pat. Oh, really?
Oh, God. Come on.
Oh, and a charming couple. Sasato, come on. Young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little at the top, perhaps.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Smoke spear, hold it. Two silhouettes.
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction.
Why would she say silhouettes if she said she could see them clearly? So clearly you could not see them clearly.
There was a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That this sound exactly like the victim is pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yeah, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yeah, quite certain. It's dark, but there are little streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There's nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling? Huh? What? Yes, that's right. Of course. There was a light fog on the ground, but Briar Road is dead straight and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians.
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer please, Mr. B. Are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir. As a copper who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat.
Jeez. Still maintaining there's no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. I like how Naruto's just like used to it by now. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened.
It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we got a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moment that followed?
So you do see the stabbing? Huh. Scattered something. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realized that it was what it was, didn't we, darling? Huh? What? Oh, yes, that's right. There's some old books.
I see. Old books. Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number around where the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed. A clear picture, clearly pictured in this photographic print. No, that rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. It was the man in the dock without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Everything. Any more insults you wanted to throw in? That's right, he looked down at the poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes, and then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away. I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue. Yes, sir. Okay. Was it your husband who went to fetch help? No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty by that point, but a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the crime scene is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance. What do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia to wait to the police box for the beat the incident fell under, so she could go. And report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know. Thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling? Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Alright, let's move on, shall we? I don't know, it kind of seems like there's not a lot of holes. Like, definitely the Japanese man in the dog, rolling on both sides is clear. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you? You absolutely could! Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know. Right. The light from the street lamps was more than enough. My husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he? Huh. Yeah, and what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm. Yeah, alright. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was that little Japanese man you saw. Can't we, darling? What? Ah, yes. It was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Sasaki-san you saw running away from the scene of the crime. But you didn't see the stabbing, so that's it, is it? That's your entire testimony? Well, what do you think, Miss Naruhodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day? Yeah, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does it leave us? The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no. What do we do? If Kazuma-sama are here... What are you trying to say? I think you'd try to find a contradiction somewhere else within the testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? The statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you can identify some other part of the testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate. Oh, right.
Put simply, let's focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it?
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yeah, of course. What is it?
Well,
You keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so...
it seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Out with it.
What? No. I don't. Oh, no. It's really not that at all. My husband's a policeman, remember? I know what I saw. I remember every last detail. Everything. Like...
Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped?
I could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. Oh! Should have kept your mouth shut, Pat.
And you dare question how reliable my testimony is.
That will do, Mrs. B.
No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please, put your husband's fist down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. B? Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling?
Four books? Did he buy four? He bought three. You don't think the books dropped at the scene of crime, as you say. It was purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in question.
After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Wildy.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime.
Well, Mrs. Beat, seeing as you've regaled the court with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the book you observed at the scene? I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was the picture of Monsieur Somebody or something, and what's it, yearnings. Then there was a meal for someone, and the last one is definitely the Thingamy's thing.
He bought 3 books only. He only bought 3 books.
You see?
It's a hole, bro. Yeah, I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory.
Oh well, they're all along those lines, I'm quite sure.
There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as he put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that the testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Whoa! Put that shit away, bro!
Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have me to answer to.
Put your gun down, dude. And he even... No trigger discipline! Come on, your finger's on the trigger, Jesus! Terrifying. I agree. Yeah, she really is. So that's it, is it? That's the entire testimony? Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. There's already a hole there. She said there's 4 books, but there were only 3 that he bought. So where did that extra book come from? So it's either maybe the late Olive Green dropped the book, or maybe someone else bought the exact same number of books that Natsume did in the hopes of kind of like blackmailing him. Not blackmailing him, kind of like making him the scapegoat. I don't know, but it kind of seems like it's getting a little bit clearer. But how Olive Green got stabbed is still a little bit unknown to me, but I guess we'll find out when we do in the next episode. So for now, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on to stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace!